All right, we're live again for part 2 of Voorhees Night of the Beast. Watch along, scene breakdown. What do we go about? Over 2 hours last time just talking about each scene, which was a lot of fun, breaking it down with the cast and crew.
Yeah.
We got a few less tonight, but I think a few might pop in as we're going. And we're doing this on YouTube again. I just don't trust Facebook to take down and just throw away my whole channel because get a little pissy. I'm not
Has
on
that
their.
happened to you before?
No, but I just don't know how they'd be about the blood and gore. I just don't trust them. I've had them I showed a Terrifier picture to.
Yeah.
They got on my case about stuff like of a figure, and they started like blocking me, giving me warnings, telling me I was like for the dumbest shit ever. And I was like,
I shared a meme about Jeffrey Dahmer once, and they put me in Facebook jail because I shared a Jeffrey Dahmer meme.
You never know what's going to upset the Facebook gods. You never know. And it's just not worth it. I mean, if my YouTube goes down, that's great. But like with Facebook, if I lose that, that's like, almost 2,100 now that it sucks.
The meme said something about the CDC says no more handshakes because of COVID.
Yeah.
Like with a blender going, crap.
Yeah. God forbid you do something. Well, if they don't like it, it's, I don't get Facebook at all. I don't get what upsets them half the time. I don't know if it's some jerk, like they report you or something for nothing, just to be a jerk. And, then Facebook starts watching you and they, guilty until proven innocent. And I don't know. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Well, I can say fuck Facebook because I'm here. I'm usually always very grateful to them and tell them how much I love them. But we got the movie about ready to roll. James Stokes said he might be here, and CJ said he was going to try to be in here. And really, this is you want to know what the cool guys are up to tonight? Well, we don't know that, but tonight we're here, and so we're going to be watching some more Voorhees Night of the Beast, breaking down some of these scenes. They obviously take some time. I'm going to introduce everybody. I'll introduce Jason, and you introduce Gary and Buddy. Jason Pitts once again, been on the show many times. Filmmaker, writer, director, actor. Yeah, you do a good job. Convenience store actor.
Yeah.
We got Gary, we got Buddy. Very entertaining in this film. I really enjoyed them, so I'm glad to have them here again tonight. Fantastic actors. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much for having us once again. Excited to share our thoughts of the second half and go through the scenes and kind of give some behind the scenes stories and stuff like that. And if anyone watching has any questions, post them in the comments. We'll answer your questions. I'll introduce Gary. Gary played Officer John and also is one of the band members who did the soundtrack of the film. A lot of the songs you can hear throughout the film, different points. Say hi, Gary.
Hello.
And then we got Buddy Campbell. Buddy played Eddie, and Buddy helped with casting.
I warned them, but they didn't listen.
He warned them. They didn't listen.
If you got a mic on, you're almost better off taking out your mic. If you got a mic on, you're better off taking it off.
Are you using a mic, Buddy? Or is it like your phone or your laptop? No.
I'm using my phone.
It's your phone? Okay.
Yeah, it's probably a shot speaker. That's what I'm guessing. Or shot mic.
I'm not sure.
I'm going to restart this and see if I come back better.
Okay. Yeah, you can back out and come back in, and I guess we'll get ready to roll. I mean,
yeah, we can watch the first scene.
Yeah, let's do it. Let me roll it. We'll do it like we did it last time. How do you like it? Like that or like that?
I like everyone on the side.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks better.
We can do that, and let's roll it. And you're the director, man. Action, man.
Action.
Can't let you go out there by yourself. Rule number 1 of the outdoors: never hike alone.
little homage to a certain filmmaker,
You
Vincent
shouldn't go
DeSante.
in there. You almost got hurt, little girl.
What are you even doing out here?
Maximize it.
Jesus.
It is maximized.
Oh, it is? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The mighty Christ
Yeah.
fellow.
For he's a mighty great fellow.
For he's a mighty Christ fellow. And everyone's going to die.
What the fuck was that?
Still want to go?
Hell yeah, I still want to go. You think I'm scared of some bullshit urban legend? Look at me.
I'm looking at you all night.
Not my type, sister. A little too ballsy for me.
Kicking your ass or spanking your ass. I'm good with either.
That's how I broke Officer Jones.
We'll do one more scene.
You see, everyone and everything has a price. This is a way of seeing what someone's willing to pay. It's a test to see if they have what it takes. It takes for what? To not quit, to persevere. If they pass this test, they have the heart of a warrior, and they're worthy of the knowledge they seek. Looky here.
Hey, Chad, it is, we're about halfway through. We did the first half last Friday.
Ooh, shame. Humans can be such disgusting animals. I almost don't blame him for doing this. He thinks we're trying to steal his kill. Slowly back away.
Oh, I'm about to give this beast a taste of the Duke.
Let me see him. Creighton, you have to go after him, get him. He's not going to stay conscious for long.
No, I'm not leaving you.
Go after him!
I can't just leave you
Let's
here.
go after him now! I'm okay.
Okay, fine. You a real tough son of a bitch, you know that?
All right, John, we can go ahead and pause it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think we can. Can you turn the captions on, John?
I don't know how the captions came on.
You can do. He's asking if we can turn them on. Chad is in the chat.
I think they're on. Oh wait. All right. Here's Will. So it'll be good to have Will in here.
Yeah.
Buddy would just tried to get back in, and I wasn't able to get there. Let me see. I don't know how to put on. I guess it'd be under settings. Let's see if I can.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, Will? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Just chilling.
Good. Me too now.
I love the pink headphones.
Thank you. I'm going to be a new aesthetic tonight.
Yeah. You're not in the usual room with the Batman logo behind you.
No. This is the childhood. This is the roots.
I think you'd have to do that, Chad, through YouTube, and there's a way you can turn it on, the captions on, I believe. I'm not sure how to do it on StreamYard, so. But I can look into it next time for you.
Yeah, we could talk about that first scene. So you got Lance and Jill looking for Bigfoot, and they come to the road that Elsu told them not to cross. And Jill's like, "Hey, that's the road," and Lance is like, "Forget Elsu. He's an old dude, doesn't know what he's talking about." They want to find Bigfoot and get get the glory themselves. And then we have these kids. So these kids, a lot like people think that they're ghosts, but they are supposed to be just like redneck kids that are out in the woods. Not obviously not in Jason's territory, but they're just out in the woods. And the idea behind the song that they sing was I was wanting to give Friday the 13th and Jason kind of a creepy song, kind of like Freddy has, or some of the other horror icons. They kind of have creepy songs as part of their lore. So that's what the idea behind that was. And there was I originally I wanted one of the girls to be in the end in the diner when Duke comes back, and she's sitting at one of the tables in a pink dress, and she's got a hot dog and a donut, and she's sticking the hot dog through the donut. But that didn't ended up not happening. And the idea behind that was in Jason Goes to Hell, when the reporter asks Duke, I'm going to say something, and you say the first thing that pops in your mind. And he's like, okay, go ahead. And he says, Jason Voorhees. And then Duke says, well, that makes me think of a little girl in a pink dress sticking a hot dog through a donut. And that's just one of the most bizarre things that he says in the entire movie. And I was kind of wanting to kind of
address it.
Yeah, address it and explain why he thinks of that. But ended up not happening, and it's fine that it didn't. It doesn't hurt anything. But I almost cut the scene. I came really close to cutting it because I made the call to put them in white because I wanted them to pop against the darkness, kind of stand out. But in hindsight, that was a mistake because everyone thinks that they're ghosts, and they're not.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I kind of was thinking they were ghosts too. I was going to ask you about that as well.
Yeah. So if I could go back and change something, that would be one of the few things I would change. I would not have them be dressed in white.
You would have had them in a little bit of plaid and some coveralls or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because it did. Sometimes you have things in your head, but when people watch it, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But hey,
the scene is creepy.
You always learn.
It plays out creepy, and people enjoy it, and they like it, but they have the same reaction that Lance has, and that's what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of, I think everybody when we watched it at the premiere set, I kind of had in their head, but then Lance kind of answers it, and it was pretty funny. It kind of just worked the way his response was.
It works because him saying what the audience is thinking makes it really funny.
Yeah, exactly.
And when he says that, the audience just laughs, and it's really, it works. It works, but it doesn't work the way I originally intended it. But sometimes that's fine too.
Yeah, well, like you said, it did get a reaction when when I was at the premiere. We all reacted because it was like, what the? And then he says that, and it's just like, okay, well, it just works in its own way.
It does. So, and then the camera pans down, and we see the old Crystal Lake sign in the leaves. This scene does have the Never Hike Alone homage, to Vincent and his films, which were a huge inspiration to me in getting me motivated to even do this. So
I thought I crashed or something. That was weird. Now it's not even. Oh, there we go.
Hey,
sorry,
Will,
my StreamYard's is going a little crazy here. It's not even showing like her thing. I'm putting it up. All right, there we go. And hello, Tammy. Good to see you.
Tammy, what's up?
We're just breaking down scenes. Oh, welcome, Will. Good to see you. I didn't get a chance to say hello to you.
Thank you. Good to see you. What were you going to ask, Jason?
I was going to say, as the editor, did you have anything you wanted to say about this scene?
About which one?
It's the one with the kids.
Oh yeah, I thought they were supposed to be ghosts at first too, and I edited them to be ghosts. So there was a draft where all of their voices had this kind of like demonic undertone and sound, and it was a lot more spookier and jump scary. But we took that out and kept them in as the crazy white clothed hillbillies, and I definitely like that version of it. After Lance says, WTF, I got to keep it PG. I'm here in the hometown house. So but yeah, he says that, and I just thought that completely worked. And making sure the comedic timing, like whenever he said it was on beat, but he just takes so long in that take that I thought about just having it go a lot quicker. But there's something about the Voorhees Night of the Beast movie that made me want to just like take so much time with some of these takes, because it just like, as a horror movie, it makes everybody sit there like really uncomfortable with each other, rather than just breaking that tension immediately with a joke. Like, let them cringe out and get spooked, and then have somebody kind of like come in and say what everybody's thinking. Same with the Bigfoot thing.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like everybody was very human, and the comedic bits were just like, I feel like they had good timing, and that's a credit to Jason's writing and everybody else's performance. But that's pretty much that scene as a whole. It wasn't much different than what Jason Mansfield did to it. I just added some of the music kind of going out on the punchline.
The kids turned into the Stepford kids there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like they were supposed to be like the local hillbilly kids that grow up with this legend, like daring each other, like step over the threshold in the Crystal Lake, like that kind of thing. Like Crystal Lake is like the haunted house, and these kids are like the kids in the town that grew up with the legend, daring each other to go in. Is basically what was in my head, but so they're ghosts. Or everyone thinks they're ghosts.
You should have put them in plaid shirts and a John Deere cap.
I know, but
I did add us onto Facebook too. I said, heck with it. Let's see what they do. Yeah, hopefully they're cool with it. I think we got through the one scene that I was really not sure how they'd go about with that one.
Yeah. I was actually watching somebody live stream watching it for the first time, the whole thing on their Twitch channel, and when that scene came up, he lost his freaking mind. He's like, they can't have cans on YouTube. Like, she's busting cans and on YouTube like that. But they're
I want it.
So like when you upload a video like that, you have an option to make it 18 or older. Can only watch it, or accounts that belong to people who are 18 or older. And I made sure that was selected. So I think that's why it's being allowed. But all right, so the next scene was
yeah, you're gonna have to give me 1 sec because
sure.
I couldn't get onto YouTube, so I got to reshare it, and I'm still at the scene, but for whatever reason I couldn't click on that tab; it wouldn't open up. So
okay,
give me 1 second here.
Jason, that's super funny that you said that, though, because throughout the entire time of me editing it and even filming it, like, I had absolutely no idea about that. I never even thought about like the nudity part of the movie or how graphic that scene is. And every single time anybody watches it, because of how public it is, because I don't even think you have to sign in like to watch it. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think you do either.
That's incredible. But
like, we're pushing 200,000 views, and so far there's no problems with it. Like,
it's absolutely, it's crazy. It's awesome. But that's just so cool as a horror movie that is accessible to everybody, because everybody thinks it's going to be something totally different, and people are saying it's like one of the most brutal kills ever.
Yeah.
And that's so cool, because it like I said last time, like it almost didn't happen, and to be able to finally get it so satisfying means a lot, because Presley and Jessa and everybody else just really nail it, and James.
Yeah. So the second scene we watched was Elsu and Duke. So Elsu's telling Duke. The scene starts with Elsu telling Duke the story about the time he broke Officer John's fingers, and so we're kind of planting the seeds here for the finger breaking scene in Jason Goes to Hell, when Jason breaks Steven's fingers in the jail cell in Jason Goes to Hell. And Elsu explains, he's all like, hey, this is just a test. If people want information, everyone and everything has a price. And this is a test. It's a way to see if they have the heart of a warrior, if they're worthy of the information that they're wanting from you. And so it just, in my opinion, it just makes that scene in Jason Goes to Hell so much freaking cooler. When Duke breaks Steven's he breaks his pinky, and then he's like, oh, well, what's the next? And then he has another question. So he's all like, all right, well, let me see your hand. And Steven's like, really? He's like, all right, fine. And gives him his hand. He breaks his next finger. And then the third question, he's all like, here, take another finger. I need to know this information. And just how resolved he is. And then the Duke saying, all right, you passed the test. Like you can see it on his face. He's like, this one's on the house. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. You passed the test. So I just thought that was really, really cool to add to that scene. And then they walk and they find some of the remains of one of Bigfoot's victims that we saw earlier, the rednecks. And then Bigfoot attacks, swipes Elsu, cuts him on his belly, and Duke shoots him with a tranq dart, and then they hobble after him. Really fun scene to shoot. We had a little bit of fun with that one, with the special effects under Elsu's jacket, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. Bigfoot really looks like he just like scratches him. So yeah, that was really cool. John, you have any questions about this one, about that scene? You still there, John?
Well, I've got a question for you if he's not here.
Yeah.
I am. My thing was going crazy. I forgot I had the camera off and stuff. I was working behind the scenes to try to fix it. But I love that you gave some love to Never Hike Alone and Vince. I thought that was really cool to do because, without Never Hike Alone, a lot of this it opened the doors for a lot of this. So that was really cool homage to him.
I agree 100%.
And you explained the kids scene because I was going to ask what was going on with that. So now it makes sense. I still say you say they're ghosts. It just adds the creepy factor. But no, just kidding. It's
the problem with that though is that there's never been ghosts in.
No, I know.
Ghosts are not part of the Jason canon. So yeah. But
there's also never been Bigfoot either.
It's true.
I'm just.
You got me there.
All right, we ready to roll it? And
I think Will had a question about this scene that we watched.
Yeah, that pretty much segues right into it. But how do you feel about? Because I know like the Bigfoot thing wasn't immediate; it didn't come with Jason. So how do you feel about writing these characters' backstories as like Bigfoot lore with Voorhees? Like, did it bother you at all having to do that since you knew about the stories of like the writers who had like, every now and again talked about Duke's backstory, but like, how do you feel about doing it the Bigfoot way? Because I really like it, but it's just like, I know you love Duke as a character, so.
Yeah, I love Duke as a character. Really, really interesting and just really mysterious. And I didn't have a problem with it because if it didn't make it into the film, in my opinion, it wasn't canon. It didn't happen. And I know that Adam, the director of Jason Goes to Hell, said that there were scenes that were written that were cut that showed that backstory where he was at Crystal Lake with his girlfriend. Jason killed his girlfriend, and that's kind of where their relation, the conflict with Jason first started with him. But again, it didn't make it in the movie. And I just thought that the Bigfoot hunter thing kind of worked. Once I made the decision, I knew I wanted Duke in it. And once Jason Mansfield and I decided to incorporate Bigfoot into it, it just made sense to me that this bounty hunter would be some kind of hunter before he became a bounty hunter. And since we added Bigfoot, it just made, in my mind, it just made sense that just to make him like a Bigfoot hunter type enthusiast type character. And then his character kind of evolves from that into a bounty hunter hunting serial killers training for Jason, which he basically says in Jason Goes to Hell, that, you know, he's been hunting serial killers, and he obviously has a beef with Jason. So yeah, I didn't have a problem with fleshing all that out.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, all of that really works, and it's just cool to be able to hear you explain it all like that. Because I saw that one question about it, and I know you're so educated. I was like, yeah, I wonder what he did think about that. But it's cool though, because like he does have that kind of like hunter history with him, but the whole mystical aspect with like Sasquatch and all that, it's just like he's a beast hunter, like he's a monster hunter, and seeing him come from Elsu was a really, really just cool thing. Every time I go back and look at Duke and like all the other Friday the 13th movies, I just think about CJ and him having that backstory, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's very believable that CJ's version of Duke becomes the version that we see in Jason Goes to Hell. They even like resemble each other. When at the end of the film, when CJ puts the hat on, it's a dead freaking ringer. The same smile, everything's the same.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy.
How much is that acting of him though, too? Because he just seems like, even meeting him in person, he seems like he's got a lot of. I don't mean like, you know, not. It seems like he has a lot of that characteristics of the character of Duke in general. So he's got the look, and he naturally has a lot of Duke in him without even acting, in a sense. He's just a lot like Duke with his demeanor. Even when I met him, you know, he's confident in everything he does. He's just got that. I don't know. I really enjoyed him as Duke, and that's a great character. And I thought he really nailed Duke, like you said. And when he does put on the cap at the end, which I'm sure we're going to go over that at the end of this film, but fantastic.
I do have a special announcement to make here live on your show, John. That hasn't been announced yet. I'll go ahead and announce it tonight at the end.
At the end, all right. Well, now I'm eager to get through this. I can't wait for the announcements. Exclusive.
It has to do with Voorhees, yeah, and it's exclusive.
Oh, awesome, man! All right, so we ready to roll this next scene?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me get it. Oop, there we go. I get fired from doing this tonight, huh?
Hey, Brett, how are you?
Mark, I think it's hurt.
Chrissy, be careful. What the fuck? Is that a Bigfoot?
Oh no.
Oh, let's see what happens. Yeah, it won't even let me go over there. I don't know if I froze in general. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, you didn't freeze. It seems to be just the movie.
Yeah. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, I think it's on my computer end, not so much my phone end, but my computer end. Let's see what's up here. This is not good. Oh boy. Let me bounce out of here and bounce back in.
Okay.
I'll still be here, but we'll lose if I can even do it here. It's like it's lagging. My mouse is lagging. I can't even get to the stuff. I could just get to the escape. You know, I'm just gonna restart my computer, but I'll still be here in this room. So
okay. So you got your computer going while you're using your phone for the
camera, and then I use my computer for.
Gotcha.
And it's kind of a fail safe too, to tell you the truth. I've never had my.
If one goes down, the other's still up, right?
Usually my computer. I mean, at this house, it usually runs really smooth. But tonight, I don't even know what's going on with the computer. it just crashed. Like I've had this computer for a little while and it just totally crashed. I couldn't even, like, the mouse is like skipping all over the place. Give it a restart, see what happens. But Will, where did you get that sweatshirt from? I think that's where we paused at. I think we were up to that scene. You were walking and you had a sweatshirt. They stored me on the sweatshirt. Let's see if it'll restart. I mean, it's crashed out good here. God damn. I don't even know what to do with this thing right now. Did you guys lose me or?
Nope, you're still there.
Okay. Yeah, my computer is totally crashed out. I cannot even like
turn it
off and on.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did it overheat?
I don't think so. No, here it goes back. I don't know. No. I don't know. It shouldn't be. I had it over. I mean, it's a brand new computer too. It's not that old. It does get hot. It's one of those workstations by Dell, and I've heard they get hot. And it is, you know, it always gets warm if I use it. So it's I think it's restarting now. Here it goes. Oh, system memory. It's going to be about 8 minutes before this starts up again.
Okay.
Yeah, it sucks. This is I've never had this happen before. It said something that the board crashed out on this or something, and I wish I could. Trying to think of the best way to do this.
Here, I can try to share the video file and see if it plays. It's telling me I have an option to do that. I don't know if it pulls up full screen though.
Yeah, testing memory. It said it should only take 8 minutes, but it's saying 81 minutes and 20 seconds remaining on this damn thing. It's like, are you serious? Let me see. I think it might be restarting again. I don't even understand. Well, there isn't much memory on this. I haven't even used it. It'd be one thing if I had all these files on it too. It's like an $1,800 laptop too. This thing better be running like a Cadillac, you know?
Right.
All right. Actually, it seems to be restarting. Let's see if I can see what happens here.
If it works, then cool. But if not, I'll share my screen and hopefully it goes.
The only problem I'll have with that is because I'm on the phone. You need a laptop to be able to put up the share screen, which is incredibly stupid. But I think I'm back.
I'm on a computer right now. It's telling me I can't do that.
I think I'd have to. I think you could set it's. I'd have to be on it, but it looks like we're good now.
Okay.
I'm hopping in.
I'll be right back. I'm making coffee.
No problem. It'll be a minute anyway.
Okay. Well, I'll just.
But you know,
I'll be right back.
All right.
Restore pages. Yeah. I don't need that one. I think. All right. So. All right. A little technical errors.
It happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Could be worse, right?
Could be. Yeah.
I think we're right back at it. Ooh. Pause it. Close this. I just want to close as much as I can in case. But yeah, this computer, and I've read that in the reviews, it gets hot. Like it gets warm. It heats up fast, I guess because it's a pretty strong computer, but and got a sucky cooling system to it. But all right. So we're good to go now on it. I just got to enlarge the screen on it, and we're set. So Will needed a second, but do you want me to run the roll it?
Yeah, we can go ahead and watch it while he's getting his coffee. Try to make it through 2 scenes and then talk about both.
Yeah, see.
Mark, I think it's hurt.
Chrissy, be careful. What the fuck? Is that a Bigfoot?
the fuck? Oh, that's a fucking Sasquatch.
Okay, but I think someone's hunting it. Mark. I have to help it.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. I can take him back to the cabin, and I can help him there, and you don't have to go with me.
I don't want you going back there either.
Okay, but Mark, Jason is dead. The only people back at the cabins are our friends partying. I'm gonna be safe. This is a living, breathing animal, and I have to help him. So, Mark, please just help me. Help me.
Fuck. You know, I don't know why I can't say no to you. Okay, I'll take him back to the cabin, and then I'll go get help. But you're helping me get this fucking big fuck into the bag.
Be alert.
Hey! You kids out here? John, I don't think there's anybody here. You think I should call for backup? Obviously something ain't right. Jason or no Jason? Yeah, that's a good idea. Call it in. I'll check out the cabin. All right, 10-4. Police! No shot!
All right, we can pause it. All right, we'll go through the first scene there first. It's the scene where these two storylines start to cross over. Bigfoot, tranked by Duke, falls in the road in front of Chrissy and Mark as they're leaving Crystal Lake. And Chrissy, being the animal lover she is, and the vet in vet school and everything, wants to help this animal who is being hunted and in need of help. Huge testament to Olivia and her acting ability. This is obviously a very dumb thing for a person to do, but she is just so believable that people are going with it. And I hear and see comments here and there that some people are like, "Oh, that's dumb," but most people are going with it, and I think it's because of her acting ability and how amazing she is, how believable she is, and I mean, you can just feel the passion in that scene when she wants to help this animal, and so hats off to her and Will's performance in that scene. Both of them just knocked that scene out of the park. Very, very good. First time we see Sasquatch's face when he rolls over, and I wanted to kind of hold his face, keep his face hidden through most of the film. A little after we're a little getting into the third act here, so that's about the time I wanted to reveal his face. And Will, are you there? You back? So
Yes.
One thing I will.
I'm getting settled.
Okay.
Well, one thing I will say is, Olivia's very convincing in getting people to believe what she's saying, Chrissy, in these scenes. But boy, has her decision making not been pretty good, not for Will's character, and
So, Chrissy's
every good decision for him has been bad for poor Will over there.
Absolutely. Chrissy's character arc in this film is a Shakespearean tragedy. It was modeled after the great Shakespearean tragedies where these characters have the best intentions. Everything she does is out of love. She loves her boyfriend. She wants to help him with his night terrors. She loves animals. This thing's in trouble. It's being hunted. It's being hurt. But everything she does is out of love from a very pure place. But they have very, very tragic consequences. And I think that that on some level, it may not be like a conscious level, but on some level, people are resonating with that. Even though she does do, like, these decisions are not great decisions, but because everyone knows these stories and they're familiar with them, whether they know it or not, because it's in everything that we watch. And so on some level, I think it is connecting with people. And then her on top of that, just her being able to embody that and enhance it in a very convincing way is just compounding it. And I think people are really, really taking to it and enjoying it.
Good intentions with bad results.
Exactly. The path to hell, or the road to hell, is paved with good intentions, type thing.
Yeah, very interesting scene, and that must have been a difficult situation. It's like you had to kind of suspend belief to get Bigfoot in the car. Although I think she could have hauled him over his shoulder. I don't know. She looks tough like that.
I think it's believable that they.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it would have been very, very difficult. But with two of them, I think it's believable.
It could have happened.
Bigfoot probably weighs what? Like 500 pounds, maybe.
Yeah.
So they work together to get like the shoulders up on. They open the door, right, and they get the shoulders up, and then get the legs up. I think it's believable.
I do too. I was just teasing because I know.
We actually did it, so.
I believe it. Well, I'm saying it would have been probably a good 10 minutes of screen time trying to squeeze them in there, though. You didn't want to make us watch them putting Bigfoot in the car for 20 minutes of the film. No, it was great. I enjoyed, like you said, it came from a good heart from Olivia's character, and poor Mark's always getting the bad end of the stick on her meaningful, from a good intention decisions. He so far is not doing well with her decisions for him.
It's just the tragic tale of a simp.
It certainly is. All right, are we ready to roll, or is there anything?
Will, do you have anything to say about this scene?
Yeah, I'd love like the comparison you made to the Shakespearean tragedies. I thought that was really cool, and I didn't know that. I saw whenever editing it, me and Olivia definitely took every performance very seriously, but there's such a humor to their relationship that is really shown in this scene. And, like whenever I was doing that scene, I wasn't thinking like, be funny with, whenever you're reacting to the Sasquatch. Whenever I was acting, it was just try to like really react as if you and your girlfriend had come up on something like that, which there's been times where I feel like I think, sometimes during late nights, like, oh my gosh, I did just see like a UFO or a Sasquatch or something like that. But, like every single time during the premieres and the live screenings and stuff, everybody laughs whenever I say, "Is that an effing Sasquatch?" And that is just so funny to me because whenever I watch it back too, like I laugh too. But I love Mark and Chrissy's relationship. It's so tragic and sad, but it's like funny and entertaining enough to go along the ride. So it's a really epic, like cheesy, awesome, fun, scary, like horror movie that has these tragic characters, and that's what makes the best movies is whenever characters are just beaten up and they keep going, which everybody does. And I think everybody has a weird redemption in death in this movie, but yeah, it's cool how that scene turned out and how the whole like movie's vibe feels. It's like just a shot of like filmmaking.
I love the way it was shot as well. Like Charlie did a great job in the scene. The headlights in the background, and we kind of got lucky with the elements too. Like if you watch like the close-ups of Chrissy and Olivia, like the wind's just slightly blowing and her hair is just kind of it's beautiful shots.
Yeah. I had a buddy who's been watching every movie that I've been in since me and him grew up together, and he called me after he watched Voorhees, and he was like, I don't know who did the cinematography for that. He thought it was Bryn at first, who has done all my movies, and she's fantastic. But I was like, no, it was Charlie Brady, and he was like, it's the best cinematography I've ever seen. And I was like, that's just so interesting that you would say that. And whenever I went back and thought through the shots, like I can definitely see why somebody would say that. Like it's just you see everything as much as you need to, and then it cuts to the next thing that you need to see. And like I went back and watched some of the other fan films, such as Never Hike Alone and stuff, and they're great and they're cinematic, but they don't feel like how the Friday the 13th series was shot. And Charlie's does. Like it feels like Friday the 13th, and cutting back and forth from the movie and in our movie really kind of shows that and how great he did. It looks like a modern day version of those cameras and those shots.
I agree 100%. All right, so we'll go to the next scene that we watched, which was Officer John and McBride pulling up to the Pinehurst halfway house. Yeah. Which was my little homage to Part 5. Funny story about that scene is we were actually looking for another location to shoot Laura's death scene, and I was with a local named Joe Robertson who was helping us shoot, and just going and looking at different locations very frantically because we lost the ability to shoot where we were originally going to shoot Laura's death scene. And we come across this house in the woods and I was like, oh my God, that looks like the Pinehurst house from Part 5. So we just like changed the scene a little bit to where they go to Pinehurst. Originally, the two cops actually went to the camp where the kids are, and Jason kills them there. But when I saw that house, I was like, it's brilliant. It looks like it's been there for a while. It's boarded up. It's old. So we just went with it. And this is another one of those scenes where if I could go back again, I'd redo a few things. It's a great scene. I love it. But this was towards the end of the shoot, and the crew was wiped. We were so burnt and so tired. There was a lot more scripted. There was actually a pretty good fight scripted between the two cops and Jason, kind of similar to the Lance fight. But just because of how tired everyone was, and we didn't have very much time, we just got to the end of that fight as quickly as possible. McBride gets a hit on him. Jason grabs his leg, flips him on the ground. Officer John comes, and then we get the double kill, which I had never seen done before. So I was really excited about that double kill, like killing one in his hands while he's stomping the other one's head. But Gary, you got anything about this scene?
Oh yeah, man. Like I said before, this was my favorite part of the entire thing that I got to be involved in with Bradford and everything that came about with him. And it was just he and I just kind of like, it turned like it was almost like we have known each other for years and years and years. And, you know, I just met the guy like the day before, and it was awesome. I loved it. And there's I'm you know, I was a little bit giddy, I guess, because it just felt great to be with him and doing all that we did. And it kind of flowed really great, and I just loved it.
Yeah, man, you guys had great chemistry on screen together. It was very evident, very fast. I love the shot where you guys are standing kind of next to you, like he's in the background and you're up front. You both got your guns drawn. It's a great shot. There's a lot about this scene that I love. I love you know, the money shot at the end of the scene with Jason. You know, his mask, the blue and red lights flashing off of his mask. Great shot. Yeah, it was a good scene. It was a good scene. I wish that it could have been that we could have filmed everything that we had planned. I mean, there were gunshots, like they were shooting Jason. Right. We had squibs planned, and it was just going to be really complicated, and we were done and out of time. So, but I'm still happy with it.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I know there was a few things in this movie you really wanted to get done. It just didn't happen. But overall, it seems like you were able to get most of what you would have liked to get done. If you had a little more time and a little more, you probably would have done it. But overall, which I know can be difficult, you were able to pull off most of the stuff you wanted to do. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. All right, we can go on.
All right, let me get us in movie format here.
Trying to get away with the Duke's kill, huh? Not on our watch.
Holy shit! Our beasts do this?
No animal did this.
Maybe we should forget the hunt and get the hell out of here.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Oh god. Is that him? Is that Jason?
Run.
Rule number 1 of the outdoors.
Screw your rule. Get the fuck out of here. Run, Jill. Now! Big boy. No. This is between you and me. Let's see if you're as bad as they say you are. Yeah, whoa! Yeah, baby! You think it's gonna be that easy? Huh, motherfucker? All right, it's fine. Keep it. Keep it. I don't fucking need it to take down your big ass. Come on, motherfucker! I got you now!
We'll do one more time.
Why do you think they came back?
I don't know, but it must be serious. Mark wouldn't come back without a reason.
Help us get this thing out of the back.
What out of the back?
What the fuck is that?
Is that what I think it is?
He's hurt. We think someone's haunting him. We have to get him inside.
Chrissy, that thing could kill us.
Grab a fucking leg and help us get
Fine,
him out.
fine. It's another bad idea.
Grab a leg.
Fuck it.
All right, go ahead. All right, so the first scene that we saw there was Duke and Elsu coming to the road just as Mark and Chrissy are leaving, and then them finding the trank dart in the middle of the road. Small scene, but very important, because if we don't have this scene, we don't know that Elsu and Duke don't know what happened to the Bigfoot. Short scene, and it's again the beginning of crossing the two storylines together. Not a whole lot going on there, just some connective tissue. The next scene is huge. It's the Lance Jason fight scene. I love the opening shot with Debbie's head on the ground. That turned out really, really well. Sala and Tammy and Paris, the special effects team, did a great job on that head. And I don't know, there's the head, and then to the right at the beginning of the shot, it gets panned up. It gets out of the frame pretty quick, but there's also like her brain sitting in front of like the top of her, or the bottom of her head. And then there's the top of her head laying there at the end of the dock. But really cool. And then Jason comes in, and fight scene happens. Great fight scene. Jacob Southwick and James choreographed that and practiced it all day that day. That's the only scene that we had 3 cameras on. We had 3 cameras on. We went through the fight several times with 3 cameras. So there's a lot of coverage. Very, very, very fun. That was towards the beginning of the shoot. So everyone was fresh, and it was a great night. A lot of fun.
I had a feeling that I was going to ask, that was a question I was going to ask to James do the choreography with I always forget his name, Jacob, with that scene. I figured they did because Jacob's got a wrestling background, and James has a background in
both of the big fight scenes. I had it scripted, kind of what I had envisioned, and then Jacob took what I wrote and worked with James, and they went over practical ways of how to get what I wanted and what I had scripted, without hurting each other, obviously. It's just the product of a great collaboration. And I think that's one of my favorite scenes. I think it turned out great. I do want to mention the sound. When you watch independent films, the sound isn't really great, but we got a lot of wide shots, like with and a lot of wide shots with a lot of depth too, right? Like the scene that we watched with Mark and Chrissy coming out of the car. I mean, the camera's pretty far away and it's pretty wide, and they're coming out of the car, and you sound. I mean, there's they're saying things when they come out of the car, and you can't see, like we're pretty far away. And so that's Lon Keith, great sound person, picking up that sound, and then obviously Will with the editing, being able to boost anything that needed to be boosted without making it sound bad and not matching everything else.
Like Will said before, as a fan and watching it, the cinematography was fantastic, and the sound was really, really fantastic as well. So, and that made, even in the opening scene as a fan, it's like, okay, what am I going to expect? Because I didn't really know what to expect. I saw the trailers and whatnot. It's like, okay, indie film, and it can go a few different ways. and I watched it, and I knew from the opening scene with like Will and the flashback to Friday 13th Part 6. I was like, all right, well, it's definitely going to be filmed really, really well, and it's going to look really, really good. And that was, my first impressions from the first scene I saw, and then Will waking up, and it was like, okay, all right, I'm ready now. Okay, now I know where. Like it set the tone.
Yeah.
Right there, that opening scene, on not just the acting, which was great, but the way it was shot. It's gonna, this is gonna be a decent, pretty good watch right here, and
Yeah.
it surely was.
Well, did you even know that Bigfoot was going to be in it when you first started watching it?
I did, because I've had Jason on so many times now. And I had James on before. James has been on a few times, and we discussed it. And at first, I didn't really know, but then I watched the trailers, kind of put it together, and we discussed it a few times. I mean, that's one of those things where it was really hard for you, I'm sure, to keep secret too. Like you kept what Bigfoot looked like for the most part under wraps as much as you could, but it was kind of one of those things where,
we got
the
into
beast.
We got into the fundraising pretty deep, and that initial surge of Jason fans contributing came and then went, and we weren't where we needed to be. And so I was talking to Jason Mansfield, and I was like, what if, because I kind of wanted to keep Bigfoot a secret all the way until we released the film. But when we got into the fundraising part, and then the initial Jason fan wave ended, and we weren't where we needed to be, I was talking to him. I was like, man, if we announce Bigfoot, can we get maybe some contributors from all of these other Bigfoot? Like, there's a lot of big people out there that love Bigfoot and obsessed with Bigfoot. I was like, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, we should probably do it. So we did, and then we had another big burst of funds that put us over the edge. So that's we definitely advertised that he was there in the film, but we definitely tried to keep what he looked like a secret until people watched the film. A couple funny things, or not really funny, but little things about this scene is the trank darts in Jason's chest is a homage to Part 6 with the paintballs, when they shoot Jason in the chest with the paintballs. And then I didn't think about it until about the fifth time I watched it after we released it. So Vincent, if you ever happen to watch this, we established earlier that this rule that Jill has, rule number 1 is never hike alone. And then she's like, hey, rule number 1 is, and he says, screw your rule. So we were not saying screw never hike alone. I love never hike alone. So if you ever happen to watch this,
I'm sure he'd be honored that in his own way. I've met him, and you've met him before too. Vince, super nice guy.
Great guy.
Total class act in my book. I'm sure he'd be honored that a film, anybody would.
Like he says, screw your rule, and the rule
Vince,
is
he's trashing you, man. He's trashing you.
Well, not trashing. But let's see. And then the next scene was Chrissy and Mark come back with Bigfoot. Poor Paul, once again, the voice of reason. This is a bad idea. Grab an effing leg, Paul. Shut up. Let's get him in the cabin.
Well, like with Gary and Buddy, they're no longer with us in the film. What was it like? Their reaction, kind of watching some of these scenes. I'm sure they have maybe a few things to say. Was
still in it?
Oh, well, I don't mean they're not, but I mean the last few scenes since they're here, and we don't really, we haven't had a chance to talk to them. They're back there. Hey guys, they look so patient back there, though. I got to give them credit. All right, we ready to roll, or did you want to talk a little bit more?
Does anyone else have anything to say about these scenes? I can't think of anything else. No.
All right.
Oh, buddy, you got something?
Oh, shoot. My bad. There we go.
Mark, that is a fucking Sasquatch.
I know.
Okay, so what is it doing here?
I mean, this is Halloween.
Stop! It can wake up and kill you.
We found it in the middle of the street with a tranquilizer dart in its back.
And we think someone could be hunting it. It's a living, breathing creature. We have to help him.
Man, you really are one tough son of a bitch, you know that?
We have to hurry. If our beast wakes up, realizes where he is, he'll sense the danger of Jason. He'll tear through those kids to get out of there.
Well, shit on a biscuit, man. We almost there. Come on.
Go. I'll just slow you down. It's okay. I'll catch up.
Take care of yourself, Elsa.
Do you guys realize how valuable he is?
Who cares? We can't spend money if we're dead.
Can we at least take a picture of him? Did anyone bring a camera?
Oh wait, Debbie brought a camera.
Where are George and Debbie? They went to the lake right after you left. We haven't seen them.
Yeah, they're probably screwing like bunny rabbits.
Okay, so back to the situation at hand. What are we gonna do?
Hey, open the door now before I kick it in. You kids have something that doesn't belong to you.
That could be who's hunting him. We can't let him in.
You kids are in serious danger. Open the door now.
We cannot let him in. Don't open the door.
Shit.
Fuck this! Open the door!
We don't know who the fuck he is! Enough! Fuck you, Chrissy. I'm gonna listen to him for once and I'm actually gonna open the door.
Watch out!
Oh, shit!
He told you this was a bad idea and you fucking killed him!
I'm so sorry.
So this is exactly why you shouldn't be messing with things you don't understand.
Who is that?
That's my partner. Come on. Come on.
You can pause.
No! Elsa! You here? No.
All right, so big scene with Sasquatch waking up, killing Paul and running. Another one of those things where if I could go back and do something different, I would show Paul dead with claw marks across his face. I think it still turned out pretty good, but yeah, I'd like to have that. But I don't really have much about these scenes. It was the cabin scene with Sasquatch was a lot of fun. When Jacob popped up, man, he scared the crap out of everybody. And I love the way he spins around and then like hits Paul. A lot of very, very cool stuff there.
And it's really the start for everybody seeing that Olivia's choices or Chrissy's choices have not been the greatest.
Yeah.
You know, like the ones I told you so kind of moment. It's like it's starting to come where, you know, we know you have good intentions, but now it's really costing all of us problems. All this because you wanted to, you know, be almost his savior in a sense for Chris. You know, for Will and stuff like that, because you don't need. You feel me? You don't. She wanted to be the savior. I think she kind of like the character that you were going for when you wrote. She has the best intentions, and she's always got to be the good one. And being the good one has really now started biting them in the ass. So I enjoy that character part too, because it would be easy just to make her the good guy and every decision kind of work out right and write it in a different sense. But she really pays for her choices and affects everybody in the group and ultimately costs them everything. So that would be what I'd add to that scene.
She's kind of like a reverse final girl, right? Like the final girl.
Right.
Yeah.
she's more dangerous than Jason or Sasquatch. Really, none of this would have happened.
Right.
Poor Will would be alive. He'd be ready for if there's ever a Voorhees sequel or something. Now he can't even be in the sequel because Chrissy took him out. You know, poor guy.
Buddy, did you have something?
It's ruthless.
It can wait.
Okay.
Oh, are you sure? Okay.
It's better later.
Will or Gary, you guys have anything for this? No. Okay. One quick thing is originally Paul was the one. It was scripted that Paul was the one that opened the door and stood up to Chrissy. But we were just in the moment filming, and Sierra was like, "What if I'm the one? What if Laura is the one that because we kind of planted some seeds and hinted that Laura and Paul were at the very, very beginning of this blossoming relationship, and so Sierra thought it'd be cool if Laura was the one that kind of bowed up and stood up to Chrissy for Paul, and I think that worked out really well. So
yeah, she did a great job in that scene. It was her kind of Sierra's moment to kind of really define her character and like you said, put her foot down with Chrissy. So
yeah,
I loved that scene. It was definitely interesting, and like I said, it told a lot in the end. I mean, it's the downfall of best intentions with terrible results.
All right,
whenever you
move on.
All right, let's do it.
He killed a bull and ran.
I was just trying to help him, and he killed our fucking friend. He's a fucking monster!
He's a protector of nature. You have to understand. He was disoriented and scared. They don't come near the lake. They don't enter Jason's domain.
Jason? Jason Voorhees?
The one and the same. This place is cursed. My ancestors.
Run! Into the woods now!
Jason!
We need to get to the car.
There's not enough time! Into the woods! Hey! You son of a bitch! I'm gonna make sure you get sent straight to hell for that! If it's the last thing I do!
Oh shit.
All right, go ahead. A little bit more. Go a little bit more, just a little bit more. John, you can play it just a little bit more. All right, go ahead.
Mark, we have to run. We cannot stop.
Okay, I can't.
It is real, and
Go ahead,
he is
Pop.
real, and we have to go right now.
Why the fuck did you bring?
All right. So Elsu's big death. I wanted it to be quick, and I wanted it to be sudden. We can go back a little bit further with we didn't talk about Jill's death. How far back was Jill's death? I don't remember. Anyway, so we're on Elsu's death, but yeah, this knife comes flying out of nowhere. I wanted it to be quick, and I wanted it to be sudden. I wanted it to be a shock, because we were kind of building this character of Elsu up a little bit, and I kind of wanted people to think that he might put up a fight and then just get kind of like Samuel Jackson in Deep Blue Sea. Like he gives this big, rousing speech, and then the shark just eats him. But that's kind of what I was sort of going for there with Elsu's death. Just kind of build this character up, and then just a very, very, very fast, unexpected death there with the knife flying in. That was actually Lance's knife. But yeah, and I loved when Jason comes on the scene and the face off with Jason and Mark. Love that. And again, it's shot amazingly. The backlight from the cabin when they come off the stairs, it's so cinematic, and I just absolutely love it. And every time I watch it, it's brilliant. Then into Laura's death scene. That was the only scene that was shot in Arkansas. I was a little worried because we didn't have the same camera and we didn't have all the lights. The camera that we used for that was a Blackmagic's 6K. We shot in 4K, but it matched. I think it matched great. Did you have to do a lot of work on that to make it match, Will? As far as coloring?
Yeah, I had to color grade it to match it a bit, and it wasn't like too much of a struggle once I was able to kind of compare it frame to frame, but it definitely was different. But I'm really happy in the end that nobody was able to figure out that was the Arkansas scene when we asked them. But I was just making sure to match the blues and the greens together with the other shots, and once that happened, everything was kind of okay past there. But I definitely it was kind of hard to do its color and then to do the blood effect and the kill with Laura, because I didn't want the blood to be so dark that you couldn't see it, but if it was any lighter, it just didn't look realistic. So I think we finally came to a good blend of everything. But
yeah,
I definitely had to go do some extra work to match it, but it wasn't anything intense. It was definitely still the same crew, which is nice. It means you can do one in Arkansas or anything like that.
We didn't have all of Charlie's lights for that. We just had a couple box lights, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was lit pretty. I am shocked of how good it looked. What we had there when we shot it. You got somebody?
Jason, did you want to divulge your original death for Laura?
Yeah. So the original death for Laura was Jason chases her to the edge of the lake, and she runs out of real estate. So she goes into the lake, and turns around and scans the shoreline. Classic Friday the 13th, right? Jason's not there. She's like, where the hell is he? And then all of a sudden she just gets pulled under the water. And then some blood comes up out of the water. And then Jason emerges from the water, dragging her. And that was the original, that was the scripted death scene. But again, ran out of time. And I had to choose a scene to move to Arkansas. And I chose that one because it involved the least amount of people. Sierra was already in Arkansas, and the only other person we needed was James, and we were able to bring James out to Arkansas for that scene. Another fun fact, at the end of that scene, it's an homage to two things. The first one is Jeepers Creepers. That's the license plate from Jeepers Creepers. It says beating you or be eating you.
That's a debate right there.
Huh? The other thing,
Buck was at Spookala last in May, so that was kind of
really. That's cool. Yeah. The other thing that it's an homage to, and it's just nobody. The first time I saw the Roseblood trailer, Jason steps on a sign. That's the first thing that I really remember from the Roseblood trailer. He grabs the tent spike and he steps on a sign, and it looks so badass. So him stepping on a sign was kind of my homage to Roseblood. But
the beanie on Sierra was because of me, right?
Yeah.
Just all.
I don't remember that being in the actual movie, him stepping on the sign, but it was in the first Rosebud Blood trailer. One thing I'm noticing from a lot of comments and feedback is everyone is like, why the hell is this girl taking off her clothes? She took off her clothes for 3 reasons. The beanie is a bright orange beanie, and so it makes sense to take that off because out in the woods with orange, it's like a sore thumb, and she's hiding from Jason, so that makes sense. The other thing is aerodynamics. Without she's got this jacket that's kind of in the way when she runs, and the third thing is she didn't want blood on her clothes.
You never see this guy in a bright orange beanie, though. I know
Right.
better.
Yeah.
I'll be betting that night.
So those are the 3 reasons why she took off her clothes. Will, did you have anything on the Jason face-off or the scene with Elsu outside the cabin as far as acting goes? I remember you wanted that scene to be really, really big.
Yeah.
And I did too.
As far as acting in it goes, I definitely I wanted it to have that moment where Mark saw Jason for the first time and Jason kind of remembered him.
Yeah.
Which we didn't have an angle that was specifically for those 2 reactions, but whenever you see it in the wide and with the medium shot of everybody, you definitely see something happen between Mark and Jason, and I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy seeing everybody else kind of seeing it too and just wanting them to get away immediately. I think everybody acts really human in this movie. And that was just kind of one of the main takeaways I wanted to have for it. And then Mark, past that point, is just going through nothing but shock. So yeah, that's it though.
Buddy, do you have anything about these 2 scenes? No, Gary.
This is one of the, other than Bradford and I actually really, really loved when Will and Jason saw each other again, because it almost immediately went back to when he was, a child under the bed, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, here he is again." The scene with that, and of course, what we're about to see is another favorite scene of mine when Will actually goes, "You know what? I am so sick of you and all the crap that you've done." But yeah, I loved it because Will really did a really great job when he realized, oh my God, it's him again. I loved it.
Thank you.
It kind of had a Tommy Doyle kind of vibe too, because he'd seen him before as a child and then ran into him again as an adult. Yeah. It definitely had that vibe.
All right, let's go on.
Oh, you know what? I had a question for you too. Was one of the casting reasons? You're good with James Stokes, but he does have that part 7-8 Kane Hodder type facial feature. I think that's why he fits that outfit so good. He definitely has a lot of similarities to Kane Hodder.
Yeah, I mean, casting James was, the first time I saw him, I was just like, he'd be perfect for Jason. And it turns out he loves Jason and was all about playing him. So yeah, that was a big part.
Every time I see him, it's that. It's like, man, he's just got a lot of Kane Hodder in his face, and you can even see it when he's playing Jason. All right, so I guess let me fix the screen for us. And I apologize if I turn off my screen and stuff. Gives me a chance to run around and do what I got to do. But I am listening.
I think
I'm ready to
I think at this point we can just go to we can just finish the film actually.
Well, we got 13 minutes left. I was running around.
Just finish.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do, you just tell me when to cut. I'm here.
I'm sorry. Don't leave me. Ready? Let's do it. What are you waiting on? Just fucking do it! I deserve it! Do it, motherfucker! I deserve it.
Chrissy, we have to go. Chrissy! Wake the fuck up!
I'm not leaving him. This is my fault.
Fuck you can't. Let's
It's my
go!
fault. I'm not-
Come on!
I'm not going!
There's no time! Come on.
I don't want to leave him.
I don't believe it. Chrissy! No!
Ooh.
It's just you?
I warned them. They didn't listen.
No, they didn't. Call the police. They can go ahead and recover the bodies. Jason is dead. For now.
What do you mean, for now?
He isn't truly dead. I'm gonna start training. I'm gonna learn everything I can about that book Mrs. Voorhees used. And that demon that Elsie was talking about. I'm gonna start hunting serial killers. And when I'm ready, I'm gonna head back to Crystal Lake. And I'm gonna make sure that son of a bitch gets sent straight to hell.
What happened out there?
That's a very expensive question. And I'm not sure you have what it takes to pay.
What's it cost?
Give me your hand.
All right, Joe.
You want to give the credits?
Yeah.
We'll run the credits and then we'll finish talking about it.
Yeah.
I know that guy. I know him too.
I can't really hear you very well.
Oh, let me hook my mic back.
You're like really echoey. All right, John, go ahead and cut it.
All right. Hold on.
All right, so big fight scene. A lot of things I love about that scene. I love Mark's death. It's funny, like one of the cuts that he sent me, you could hear me directing them. And it just, like, when I heard it, I was like, oh, that's, it brought back memories. And I loved the scene. You could hear, like, when he reaches up after he says, you did this, you killed me. And then he reaches up and like caresses her face. Like, you could hear me say, reach up and touch her. And in one of the cuts that was sent to me. Hearing that when I watched it, I was just like, oh yeah, I remember that now. Because
at least the grief of a lifetime didn't last that long for.
And I remember thinking I wanted there to be like still love, even though there's this like accusation, like you did this, you killed me, and then still show that there's still love there. But I remember thinking that in the moment as we were shooting it. Because I don't know if it's like other departments, but when you for me anyway, when you're directing and you're there and you're in it, I don't remember a lot of things that happened. So when I hear these people tell their stories, it either jogs my memory or I didn't remember it, which is really, really cool. I mean, it sucks not remembering things, but it's cool to hear the stories and be like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that. But I love the shot of Jason in the background and Sasquatch turning to look at Chrissy. That's one of my favorite shots in the whole film. I love when Jason loses his mask and goes berserk and just starts smashing Sasquatch into the ground. That is my favorite moment of the film. I love the double decapitation scene. It's a great kill, but that moment of Jason just going crazy and the way James played it was awesome. I love so the Bigfoot, the fan or the clan or group of big feet Sasquatches that come out. We were very limited in what we had. Most of those are gorilla costumes, and I'm getting a lot of feedback of people loving how it was shot. It's like, man, it's shot so good, and yeah, I agree that it was shot so good, but it was shot that way because we couldn't show like the big feet, or the costumes are kind of blurred out. Jason's the main focus. It's either like you just see a little bit here, a little bit there of the creatures or the costumes, just enough to understand what's happening. And but man, it looks so freaking good. And the sound, the music that Will laid in there at that moment is, for me, it's just like spine tingling. Like the first time I heard it, like I got goosebumps. Yeah, I could not be happier with the way it turned out. There was a time in the very early processes, or the early parts of the editing process, that I saw what we had in that scene, because again, we were really tired and just trying to get through it as quickly as we could. That I was a little scared that we didn't have enough to make it what it is, what it turned out to be. So awesome. And then the scene with Duke coming back, just setting up Jason Goes to Hell is what that's all about, and showing him become the man that we see in that film in Jason Goes to Hell, and sacrifice poor Eddie's pinky to do that. Will,
He wanted to know though.
Yeah, he did. He asked. I love how he just like hesitantly like gives like, okay, like what's happening here? Will, do you have anything editing wise or acting wise in that last scene?
No. There's plenty of stories about that last scene, but we would just go on forever.
Yeah.
And I think I've said a lot of it before, but pretty much there was just one time where I didn't realize that it was shot on so many cameras, so I sent him like a video of there was a draft of the last scene where it was just like all one angle and it looked like a wrestling match. And so I'm happy that I discovered the other angles after he told me, like, where's that footage? And I was like, oh, we can definitely do some stuff here then. Cool. Because I couldn't even, like, break down the slow bits on that wide shot because there was no coverage. But then it turned out we had plenty. And pretty much the same thing happened with the Bradford and Gary scene. But once I found out there were those other cameras, I was happy. And those fight scenes really came together. And I just, at first I was trying to make it this like epic clash thing, kind of like what you see whenever like a bunch of sci-fi monsters fight, but that just isn't this movie at all. And Gary and them made this awesome soundtrack. And Jason was like, make this like a music video fight scene. And I was like, okay, word. I'll edit it like a fight highlight almost. Like the highlights of their fight scenes. And then Gary, they had made a scene they had made a song specifically for that scene. And I was just editing it, and I went through their whole album, and I love the song that they made for the scene originally, but this one just fit so well with the editing and with the pace and the punch of it that we ended up going with that instead. But we listened through the whole album because he made a whole album. So please go and
absolutely
get that and listen to it. But it's great, and this was just to me, this song got my blood going like quicker than anything else. So I put it there in the fight scene, and it's just like, it just feels like a drunk monster fight, and it's awesome.
It is awesome.
Just love it. And I love me dying there with Olivia. She's like rocking me back and forth to the music. It's awesome.
And the way the lyrics like line up with some of the things that happen in the fight, like when he puts his mask back on, and it's like
I didn't even realize that. You're totally right.
Like,
Yeah.
our reign's about to begin. Heart full of sin.
No, you're totally right. And I think I like noticed those things subliminally, but never like really thought about it till you said that.
I noticed that the first time you sent it to me. I was like, that's badass.
Very cool. That's why you're the director, though.
Happy accident, right? It just happened.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to take credit, man. You'd be like, yeah, I had that planned out the whole time. That's how I roll.
I mean, my brain said this sound good, and then Jason's like, it matches along. I'm not even noticing.
I got a question for you, Will. You do a lot of you jumped in as the editor. What was the toughest part about doing it? Was it the fight scenes? What scenes were the hardest ones for you as an editor to do? Was it the music with the fight scenes? I mean, there's so much that goes into it, but what was the most challenging aspect of jumping in as the editor of this film?
I think the toughest thing was, well, I think this is the thing that only I could have brought, being with the actors so much. And I didn't see a lot of the movie, but I felt very like in the thick of it with all the cast and crew, but trying to figure out what the movie's vibe was. Because I am a Friday the 13th fan, but not a diehard one like everybody else. So I had to figure out how this movie could pay homage and be its own thing to that franchise. So that was hard, but technically the hardest things were just like making sure the movie was continuous, and that it had continuity, and that it sounded good, because it's so hard to get even good sound to sound good, and to make it flow. And so just doing that, and then choosing where to put the score with the soundtrack that Gary and everybody made, and when to use what sounds and what felt right, because we had so much to use, and Gary and Galen made so much. But it was just fitting it in.
I know what we captured on sound and video, and let me tell you, Will did a crap ton of Foley work. And I don't think we talk about that very, very much. But the Foley work in this that I know that he did or had to have done is a lot.
Thank you.
It's easy to praise everything in front of the screen and forget about the things that really happen behind the screen to make it happen. Even I had Nick Benson and Mick Strawn on about a week ago, and those behind the scene guys and what they add to films like Voorhees Night of the Beast and what Will did, I think deserves as much love as it can get. So awesome job, Will, to step in. I know Jason brags about that all the time. And
I really appreciate it, though. It does mean a lot.
Well, it had to be even more challenging than being the lead role, in a sense, the co-lead. I mean, because you knew what you were getting into was being the co-lead, and then you jumped into the editing, and you did a fantastic job. So,
thank you.
I know that wasn't easy.
Yeah, pre-production and post-production, I think, is what everybody fears the most. And I learned how to love post-production. Now I'm trying to learn how to love pre-production. So doing Voorhees came at a good time for me. But if you would have caught me 2 years ago, I couldn't have done it. I would have lost my mind. But I really like it now, so I was happy to do it.
Buddy, tell us about the last scene.
Well, it was
showed
actually
us his
the first
finger.
scene I shot as Eddie, so I really didn't know how to play him at the time. So I was just throwing something up against the wall, and it seemed to work.
Oh man, Eddie is a fan favorite. People love Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie's a simple-minded mountain man with the best intentions, like Olivia, but he didn't get anybody killed.
So he's better.
He may have lost.
They're one and the
He
same.
didn't lose any lives.
Yeah.
He might not have seemed as smart as her, but he was much smarter than her.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
knows not to go late.
And a shout out to Barney You might want to mention how he stepped in at the last minute for that role.
Yeah, Barney steals every scene he's in. Man, that's so funny. I love. Now that's some horse shit. That's one of my favorite lines. Yeah, he did great.
But you had somebody else cast in that role who couldn't make the trip, and Barney had to step in at the last minute basically to take over, and he just killed it.
Absolutely, he did.
I think the townsfolk were awesome.
Your role was originally cast to somebody else, and I mean, it wasn't last minute, but whenever they said that they weren't able to make it, I mean, that happened a lot, and roles kind of had to get recast, and it turned out great.
If I remember, James reached out to Barney, who he had known from Nashville, I believe, is where Barney's from.
Yeah.
And he is a Barney Fife impersonator, and was able to take that Barney Fife vibe from Mayberry and turn it into a horror slasher film character, and he pulled it off great. And he just learned all that basically in just a couple of days is all he had to learn that. So hats off to Barney, and hats off to you mentioned behind the scenes again. Big shout out to Amy Lynn Woodall, to Alan Lowe, Jason Mansfield, the people that were working behind the scenes, Cindy Reed, Marsha Sloan, everything that they did to make this movie happen. Just a big thank you to them.
Absolutely, for sure.
Very cool. I had one question also. It's more of a comment too. I think the townsfolk were great, and in what you did really in an hour-long film, you were able to build up characters with Duke and the Sasquatch team, with the townfolk, and Mark and Chrissy, and have that development of each character in an hour's worth of time, which is no easy task. And that was one thing before, because I'd seen Alone and Masquerade, and I'm like, well, Jason does a lot of character development, and that's one thing I really like about your filmmaking. And I got to give you props, and I got to give all the actors props and everybody involved, is the way you guys were able to develop the characters and portray the characters in such a short film overall, but also make it effective, because I've watched longer films where I didn't know the characters very well, even by the time I watched the whole thing. And I felt like in an hour film, I got to know the characters about as good as you could in an hour-long film.
Thank you. A lot of that comes from what I learned early in teaching myself how to screenwrite, because I read so many books, and I went to seminar classes and even in film school. And every scene has to do two things: develop a character and move the plot forward. If a scene doesn't do one of those two things, it needs to be rewritten, and it needs to be cut out. And so that, I think that is what you're seeing with my films is a direct result from me keeping that in mind as I write. Because I agree with you. There's a lot of stuff where it's just like there's so much time spent, but no character development.
There's probably 12. I mean, off the top of my head, there's at least 12 characters. I mean, between the three groups, and then you still got to present Sasquatch, which one group kind of does in its own way, the myth, the lore, and everything. So it was properly done, and I think the casting was great. I thought Buddy was great, Gary was great, I thought Will was great, Olivia was great, James. The whole cast was really good, and I enjoyed all their performances for what you guys all did and bring those characters to life. As somebody who watched the film, and it was great to watch it in that premiere atmosphere where you saw the reactions, and they weren't fake reactions. I think you even mentioned there's like some scenes you didn't know it would be so funny. I think Will mentioned it, and everybody laughed out loud about the whole thing, and it pulled off in a great way. So, congratulations to all of you guys.
Thank you.
Like I said, each character had their own certain unique thing, and there's a memorable scene by each one of them, and I think that was very well done by you.
Hey Gary, do you want to talk about the soundtrack at all?
Oh yeah, we it's funny that Will brought up the fact that there was a song that was written specifically. There was a few songs that were written specifically for the movie. From Hell was a song that was written specifically for the movie, and it ended up not even being in the movie. But and you're both right, Jason and Will. You're both right that the Hellraiser ended up being a better song for that fight scene. From Hell was kind of a little more, I guess it was happy-go-lucky, for lack of a better word. From Hell, or Hellraiser was not exactly that way. So we both thought, Galen and I, when we saw the movie with Hellraiser in there, we thought, yeah, man, you guys did y'all did the right thing by putting that there. Will has got something he may. I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's got another project that's not come out yet, and Will, cut me off if you don't want me to say anything about it. But
no, you're good. Go crazy,
man. I'm going to tell you something. That young man right there is incredible. Galen and I were lucky enough to be involved with another project that he's got coming out in a little bit. And he is, it's amazing what he has done, what he did with that, with the small amount of one camera and one sound guy, and it looks amazing, sounds amazing, and it's awesome. But as far as the, you can buy the soundtrack. It's on iTunes. We were very thankful to Jason for allowing us to do this. We put in a lot of time and a lot of hours. A lot of people don't realize that when you do something, you think, 3 or 4 minute song, that's not that big of a deal. But it really is. It takes a long time to do that. And we were very happy and very proud. And, 100, where's it at now, Jason? 167,000.
I think we're pushing 170.
177 right before we started.
Yeah.
Yeah, 177,226 views.
Over 170,000 people
have heard your music.
And yes, and not only heard the music, but they saw this movie. And this movie is awesome, man. I'm telling you, there's certain aspects of the whole thing when Jacob turns around as Bigfoot and looks back at her.
I love that.
Yeah, because he's like, you know what? Nope. I'm not going to let this guy do nothing to you. He's like a protector of her because of what she did for him. And I get chill bumps thinking about it. And, the scene where the rest of the family comes out and they're like, I thought that was awesome. And we're just, as far as Primal Apathy is concerned, we are appreciative for what we've been able to do.
Man, we're so appreciative for you guys. Absolutely. I was watching, I told you guys earlier, I was watching just some random person live stream their reaction to the film for the first time. Like they had never watched it before on his Twitch channel. And when Crystal Lake hits, he went nuts. He's all like, what is this song? This song is awesome. He's just going crazy over the song.
Soundtrack's great.
Well, we appreciate it, and Crystal Lake, man, that's just one of those things that Galen and I sat down and we wrote that, and I don't know Jason, Death Curse was written by part of that was written by you, so the world needs to know that too. You and I, you wrote the first part of that. I finished it up, and it's. I mean, that to me, that's a great song too. And we were just From Hell and Crystal Lake, Death Curse, the Dark Variant. There were 5 songs that was they were originally written just specifically for the movie. So we were honored and proud and happy to be part of it.
Yeah, and thank you for letting me write my first song. Appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely, and it was great, man.
I had fun with it.
You had it was great.
Did my song "I Warned Them" make the soundtrack?
We should have written a song called that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I warned those bastards.
That's right.
All right, John. Well, thank you so much for having us, man. Are you ready for my announcement?
Yes, I'm always yes, absolutely. Big announcement by Jason Pitts.
Big announcement.
That's it.
There is going to be a sequel to Voorhees. It's going to be a short web episode follow up to Voorhees. It's going to be called Voorhees After the Beast, and it's going to be like between 10 and 15 minutes long. But it is coming. There is going to be a sequel.
Sweet, man.
You heard it here first.
Oh man, After the Beast. All right, man. I'm excited for this, especially after that ending. See what happens. I got a feeling CJ Bernard might be in this short.
Yeah, I can announce two people that are returning. CJ Bernard will be returning as the Duke, and Buddy Campbell will be returning as Eddie.
Sweet. Will might be returning, but it'll be behind the scenes. He didn't make the cut. Well, he made the cut, all right, but not the cut he wanted.
I'm always there for any flashbacks anyone needs.
Yeah. You can always put him as a memory, right?
I will be Jason Voorhees.
Why not? You wore the mask. Do that Tommy Doyle
once again. Yeah.
I guess I could announce James is coming back as Jason Voorhees. That's not a spoiler, right?
Who? He's supposed to be here. Who?
James Stokes.
Skipping out. Skipped out on the premiere.
Just kidding. Buddy, and I was super pumped about Buddy, but I was like, does that mean that James isn't Jason Voorhees again? And I was like, that would suck because I just made this poster with his Jason Voorhees. So.
No, he's playing Jason.
Okay.
I would say little bit of a spoiler. I will say he won't look the same.
Well, that's a Jason movie in general.
Yeah.
If his look didn't change, then it wouldn't be true to Friday the 13th now.
Plus, he got torn to pieces. So.
Yeah, he did get a little messed up.
And it'll be really neat to see what a shorter version looks like, because if the hour-long version looks like that, so much focus into 15 minutes will just be crazy.
Are we going to see his black heart beating?
I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of a black heart.
Here I am trying to pull for spoilers already, but you've been actually I've seen you post so much stuff. You've been on like a creative spurt of writing, huh? Like a lot of things have been popping in your head. So it sounds like you're going to be a busy man.
This came from, I don't know if I should get too much into it, but I guess a fan of the film reached out to me, and we had a meeting, and things went really well with the meeting, and things are presented themselves to where we could do this, and so it's going to happen, but it's all because of somebody who watched the film and absolutely loved it, and wanted to be a part of a sequel. So,
well, congratulations on that to all you guys. Congratulations on Voorhees Night of the Beast, and excited for you guys. Voorhees After the Beast now, Night of the Beast, and now After the Beast. I love the title. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Any idea of when you're going to start filming that, or?
We are shooting. The goal is to shoot sometime in November. If we can't get everything together by then it'll be after we do Lonely Echoes in March. So probably
So
April.
busy year
Either
just with
November,
those two.
either November or April, depending on how fast we can get everything together.
You can expect at least 1 or 2 more movies from this crew until then. But
Yeah.
You got a lot of content coming up.
Yeah, we got When the Stairs Creek. We're shooting next week. We got Will's got several things coming. You got K9 coming out soon, right? That's what you were talking about earlier, Gary, right? K9.
Yeah.
Absolutely. K9.
Fantastic film.
Thank you. Yeah, it's trying to make its festival runs right now, but whenever we do a GoFundMe for a certain something, then I'm sure that I'll release those films as a perk.
Cool.
Well, as you guys know, all you guys are always welcome back, no matter what you guys are working on. Hope whether together, apart, whatever you guys are doing. Big fan of all you guys. Definitely want to show my support any way I can. Jason, you're killing it, man. You're killing it with everything. I know James, who unfortunately couldn't be there, killing it. Olivia Disney, killing it. Gary, awesome job in the movie. Buddy, awesome job. And Will, amazing job in front of the camera and behind the camera. And also Gary for the soundtrack, because without the soundtrack, the movie wouldn't be what it is. It takes everything from the front of the screen to behind the screen, like I said earlier. And I think you guys all did a very, very incredible job, an amazing job for what you guys did and what you were asked to do to make this film happen. And again, thank you guys all for coming on, and you're always welcome. You know that, Jason. Anything you need to promote or anything you want to talk about and share. Thank you guys again. Thank you guys in the chat. You guys can leave if you have anything. Yeah, go ahead. All you guys can finish up with saying what you need to say, and we're on the screen.
Yeah, just a quick shout out. Joe Robertson and I are finishing up a short film we did shot in Ohio back in the fall, starring amongst others some members of this cast: Cindy Reed, Amy Lynn Woodall, Bailey Freeman, called The Shrew, and it's about to hit the festival's circuit. It's basically a ghost story, haunted mansion, and we'll be going back. I'll be going back to Kentucky in October to shoot the Ghosts of the Big Sandy with Joe Robertson as well, and I've got a movie with Danielle Harris from the Halloween movies is going to be in theaters this fall called Roadkill, that we shot in Florida over the winter. So just want to throw those out there to you as well. Some things to be looking forward to.
Absolutely. All righty.
Pretty sweet, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting Danielle Harris. I think I told you before, one of my favorite scream queens. And you guys were at like 80,000. Jason said when we were getting ready to do the first watch party, maybe we'll be at 100,000. You've doubled it since then, and that's like 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks since you said that. Congratulations. I know it's going to hit 500,000 soon. It's just growing and growing.
I don't think it's out of a realm of possibility to hit 1 million.
Oh, no doubt.
Within a year, like a year from it. Yeah.
Also,
no doubt.
If it's okay with you and if it's okay with Jason, we can reveal one more thing as well. If it's just my thing, but I don't want to. I want to check with everybody first.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, cool. Well, then hold on.
Is it what I think it is?
Yeah.
Not bad, man. There you go, man. Sweet, dude. And now you're going to be directing and writing, man. Congratulations, dude.
Thank you.
A man of many means here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. But the reason I wanted to bring that one up is because we're going to be doing that in the next few weeks. And Jason, there's a very good chance Jason will play a very important part in that movie that I don't want to get too much into yet, but we're excited about it.
I'm very excited.
Me too.
It'll be my acting debut.
What are you talking about? You were a clerk, convenience store clerk. Not a very good one. Didn't see anybody ripping
Not
you
in
off.
Gotham. Not in Gotham anymore. The city changes people. But yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I think Jason's got the chops, even from the little bit I've seen him do and caught him. And I think it'll be cool for it to be a little role reversal. And you can,
It'll definitely be cool.
Yeah. It'll be different. I don't know what you're talking about, but that would have been my guess. That would have been my guess. It's the hat. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Look at it. It's perfect. He's perfect.
I played that character in a movie not that long ago. It didn't do very well.
Not true.
Chill out.
Well,
I had great one-liners and nobody bought them anymore.
You just proved it. Me and Arnold got beef, but we're not.
All right,
the response was very cold. All right, guys. Take care. Thanks again, everybody. Thank you again, chat. We'll get together soon. Congratulations on everything, and we'll talk more about these projects coming up. Peace out.